Hello, everybody. It is your Slap Shut Man. How is everybody doing on this fantastic Wednesday? I'm telling you, I'm feeling alright today, Sonny. But today's going to be the longest video we have ever made. Because today, I'm going to be going through every single United States president. From 1 to 46, because that's how much we have. I know this one says 45, but it's outdated. It's wrong. So we're going George Washington to our present day president named Joseph Biden. I'm not a nerd, by the way. I don't know why I called him Joseph Biden, but I did. So, George Washington, our very, very first president, and the greatest president to this very single day. I'm not even joking. I honestly think he's the greatest president ever. Number one, he led us through the American Revolution. One of the most, it's a pretty difficult time, but it's not really American history. Because, America wasn't technically a nation at that point. But he led through the Delaware River. And when they weren't expecting an attack, they did it on Christmas Eve, that very night. Now, everyone thinks he chopped down a cherry tree, but he actually never did that. That story is, in fact, false. It is very much false. The only reason they say he did was to make children, truthful and honest. So, but that story is actually, in fact, false. Another great thing about George Washington was the fact that he could have chose to be king. He could have chose that. He could have chose to be a ruler and ruled for as long as he wanted, which would have been until 1799, until his inevitable death. Still sad about that. But anyways, yeah. And he didn't. He chose to be president. Also, he could have served for as long as he wanted, like I said, but only served 8 years, making the 2 terms thing, where a term is 4 years. And because of those reasons, that makes me believe that Georgie over here, Georgie Washington, he also never had a middle name because those weren't really a thing back in the day, George Washington was the first president, and, in my opinion, the greatest. Alright, next up, we got John Adams. Now, John Adams, he was the very, very first vice president, which is like, he's there just in case the president dies, even though he became president. He was also the very first president to live at the White House, which is, in fact, that's for me, that's pretty cool. But besides that, I don't really know much about him, other than the fact that he was the second president, first White House president, and he's our second president, and this painting looks very cool. Okay, next up, we have Tommy Jeffs. Now, I like Thomas Jefferson. I really do. I like him. He did the Louisiana Purchase, which doubled the size of our country. And he signed the Declaration of Independence, which got our independence from Britain. And because of those 2 things, Thomas Jefferson is an above-average president. He is, like, an 8 out of 10. I'm not going through and I'm ranking all these. I'm just going through and making these good, because I try. Next, we have the first ice cream lover, James Madison. Yup. But I think the British definitely started the fire. Yes, they did. It was in the War of 1812, and it was sad. It sucked. No one liked it. What? Alright. Alright, next up, fifth president. My favorite number, not my favorite president, but favorite number is 5. That's why I really only think about James Monroe that often, because 5 is my favorite number. Oh, also, just like George Washington, he ran against himself in one of the elections. Which means in his second term election, I don't really know how to call that, he got 100% of the vote, like, George Washington, because he was a pretty good president. Who did the voters choose this time? John Quincy Adams. People call it Quincy, but it's Quincy, I'm telling you. He was the first president to be a son of a former president, because he was the son of John Adams. He was pretty, cool. Oh, another thing about him is that next president, Andrew Jackson, got more votes than him in this election, but for some reason, the House of Representatives, they made the House of Representatives pick, and they chose Adams. But speaking of Jackson, Andrew Jackson was a soldier, but as soft as old cement. When he had a thing or two to say, folks knew just what he meant. He was a war hero who fought in the War of 1812, which was pretty crazy time, I'm gonna be honest. Also, another thing about Andrew Jackson that I find pretty crazy is an assassin tried to assassinate him, but he beat him to death with, not to death, but he beat him almost to death with his cane. And the guy who tackled Richard Lawrence was Davy Crockett, the king of the wild frontier. Just so you know, this guy is not a president, but he is a big part. Also, he's where I got the coonskin cap from. Thank you for lending me that. You are so nice, Davy. Wait, hold on. We're only on number 7? We got a long way to go. Martin Van Buren, the 8th President of the United States. No one really knew who he was. Like I said, this is going to be a long video, so if you clicked on it, thank you for getting here this far. William is William Henry Harrison, and you see, 30 days in, he got pneumonia and died very short after he came into office. You see, I honestly think he could have been a good man. He could have been a good person. Very, very, very good. I'm sorry. It's just the voice thing got right into it. And I thought it would be funny if I did William Henry Harrison with a child voice. But speaking of, we got John Tyler. A very cool, pretty cool thing about this guy is, first president to take office, first vice president to take office after, when the president died. 11, James Polk. So, James Polk, the only really thing I liked about him was the fact that he was just like, I'm only serving one term because I want to be focused on work and getting stuff done. Which I thought was super cool. Next up, we got 12, Zachary Taylor, not Haler. We should change his name to that, even though he's dead, so we can't. But kind of like William Henry Harrison, he died very short. He died a year into office. But now that he's dead, Millard Fillmore comes in. Guys, I'm not just so you guys know, I'm not trying to copy the Bear Whisperer at all, but I'm just like trying to talk. Yeah, this guy, not really a good president. Not really a good president at all. And in fact, we are going to be going through 2 more presidents that were one of the worst in history. Historians say that Millard Fillmore was one of the worst presidents in history. And then, like these 2 are coming up. And these 2 aren't that good. The first one is alcohol lover Franklin Pierce. We should Pierce Franklin Pierce because he did the terrible Kansas and Nebraska Act, which just was awful all around, and just all he really did was he worsened relationships between the North and South. He didn't do anything to prevent Civil War. All he did was just worsen everything. Why did he become president? No, get him off my video. Okay, get him off the video. Now let's talk about another bad one. James freaking Buchanan. Let's put Buchanan in a cannon and fire him out of the country. Seriously, all he did, same thing with Pierce, all he did was just worsen relationships between the North and South. And the only reason I like him 0.1 more percent than Pierce is he was the only, he was the only U.S. president to be from the state of Pennsylvania, which I like, because I'm a Flyers fan, that stuff. Wait, what? Joe Biden's president has been from Pennsylvania, too. What? No good presidents live in Pennsylvania. We have James Buchanan, and then Joe tripping on stairs Biden. Just, it's okay. Take a deep breath. We're only 12 minutes in. I need to get anger issue management class, whatever it's called. Just shut up. Oh. Well, those bad presidents ended with just like how the universe was made, a big bang. It ended with a bang. And that guy was Abraham Lincoln. Honest Abe Lincoln. The guy who set the people thinking. If he would have been here before the Civil War happened, he probably would have made it better. But during the Civil War, he did well. Got Ulysses Grant to, he granted Grant to be the main soldier general, and he got good generals, and he grabbed the mallet and broke the shackle and freed the slaves. He freed every slave from, that stuff. But bad thing is, you would think after the Confederates, surrender to the Union, you might have thought, oh, things are going to go well. Nope. 5 days after, he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth, who was a big theater guy or actor in the Ford Theater, and I think that's the exact photo of his thing, which is sad, but not as sad as this next upcoming president, Andrew Johnson. Historians say he's one of the worst presidents in American history. I couldn't really find anything about Johnson that was like super, super terrible. But whatever the historians say is truth. Number 18, Ulysses Grant. Ulysses Simpson Grant, who would rage and raise a bed, no drinking whiskey, or the whiskey because he spilled it on his pants. I think I've heard that before. Anyways, he was a war hero. He fought in both the Mexican-American... No, my bad. He fought in the Civil War and the Mexican-American War. And, by the way, here's a little fun fact. Before he died, his last word was water. It was literally just water. That would probably be... he had throat cancer, so I see why. Alright, next up, you have the cornmeal pancake lover, Rutherford Hayes. Well, specifically his wife's homemade cornmeal pancakes, which I would love too. But he was an okay president. Alright, good thing we're blowing through this list, because I can't wait for this to be over. Next up, James Garfield. No, I'm not. I'm tired. I don't have anything against James Garfield. He was assassinated too, which was pretty bad, if I'm going to be honest. Just like Lincoln, I think he was the second president to be assassinated. And he was also the fourth president to have facial hair, with Abraham Lincoln being the one to have facial hair too. Chester Arthur, the 21st president. Speaking of facial hair, he had very weird facial hair. You know what? It looks like some, mutton chops or something, but anyway. Next up, we got pretty good, pretty alright president. Grover Cleveland. I think he was named after, Cleveland, the city. Also, I think he vetoed most bills. If you don't know what veto means, it's basically stopping a bill to become a law. But that's not what's important about Grover Cleveland, okay? Just remember Cleveland, okay? Just like how they say remember the Alamo in Texas. Remember Cleveland. But 23, first, Benjamin Harrison. Cool thing about him is he was the first president to have his voice recorded, which I think is cool. Alright, so how I asked you guys to remember Grover Cleveland? Well, here you go. Grover. Oh wait, shoot. Wrong thing. Let me try and find the right thing. Alright. How about just Cleveland? Alright. Grover Cleveland. No, wrong Cleveland. Here, come on, let's go. Alright, here. Grover Cleveland. Yup. He was both the 22nd and the 24th president of the United States of America. He's the only president to do this. But I think Trump might be the second if he does win the election. William McKinley, the 25th president of the United States. Yep. He was the third president to be assassinated, which is it's not good. I don't like people dying. Just like both Garfield and Lincoln. He was assassinated too. People don't even really remember he was assassinated, which was sad. The Bear Whisperer said it was Garfield, but I think it's McKinley, because you didn't even mention that he got assassinated, Bear. Sorry, Bear. Next up, we're coming in with another bang. Theodore Roosevelt. Yes, Mr. Teddy Roosevelt himself. Second cousin to next president, 32nd. He got teddy bears named after him. Imagine that. He named after teddy bears, which is cool. The reason why he was called Teddy Bears was, because, his nickname was Teddy, and they called the bear that after he refused to shoot a black bear tied to a tree, I think. Also, I forgot to mention this with the other guys, but his face is on, Mountain Rushmore, but Mount Rushmore is better. Oh, this guy is cool. I think he's one of the toughest presidents there was. Anyway, next up, with one of the greatest presidents in American history. Some historians say he is the greatest. William Howard Taft. Now, you're gonna be wondering why we think he's the greatest. And one of the reasons why was because, oh my god, get me out of this tub that I just got stuck in. Get me out! That's why. That is the exact reason why. That's the greatest thing he has done. But seriously, he did get stuck in a bathtub. Next up, 28, Woodrow Wilson. We're almost done with this list with Wilson. As 28, he, in 1918, put us into World War I. He ate raw eggs. And that's pretty much all I got to say about Wilson. Next up, we got Harding. Warren G. Harding. The only really thing I know about him is he ended World War I, which is good. We don't want war. We want peace. We want to be at peace. Just like a piece of pie, which is what Calvin Coolidge would like. I'm just kidding. I don't even know if he liked pie. He liked pickles, I think. 30th president. Pretty much that's all you gotta know. Best there. Next up, we got Mr. Herbert Hoover. Best known for, the Hoover Dam and that stuff. But, even better known for, being, the blame for the Great Depression. Not really a good president. Got blamed for the Great Depression, liked sweet potatoes topped with marshmallows. Why do I know their favorite foods? And he lost 2 terms because of the Great Depression. Just like Yakko Warner has said. Why do I know Animaniac stuff? Franklin Delano Roosevelt, our next president. Second cousin to Theodore Roosevelt. And, this guy, he kind of, I say quote kinda, because he basically, kinda got us out of the Great Depression, but it wasn't really that, because it got us out with, World War II being taken place. So it's just like, hip hip hooray, no more of that, but bombing of Pearl Harbor. But people must have really loved him back then because he served 4 terms as president. And I think after, maybe not right after, the 22nd Amendment was passed, which was, you couldn't be here for more than 8 years, aka 2 terms. If they elected you in one more time, that was how much you got. So, an above-average president, pretty good. Wait, what is that? What is that coming out of the sky? Wait, it's a bird. It's a plane. No, It's Harry S. Truman. No, the S in his name actually doesn't stand for anything. It's just an S with no end. He dropped the bombs on Japan, which is like the Bear Whisperer did on Mao. Mao, I don't like you that much. But that ended World War II. Is there any other photos I can use beside this one photo of Hitler? It's just Harry S. Truman. This guy was a true man. Dropped the bombs, saved us from World War II, and that makes me happy. We're almost done. After this next president, we're gonna get into we're modern day presidents, you know. But we have to go through first Dwight D. Eisenhower, he was a war hero. It sounded weird like a teacher. He was a war hero. But seriously, he fought in both, get ready for this, World War I, damn it, and World War II, because I have to use that same damn picture of him all over again. But I think this is the last time. Please have this be the last time. I hate that photo, bro. I hate that photo. Next up, we got, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. I read his middle name wrong. I'm sorry, guys. But the good thing about this man, he said it. And he said it good. He said, we all chose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose not to stay on Earth, but to go to the moon. We chose to go on moon soil. We choose to technically invade the moon, even though it's not really a moon invasion. He was also the last president to be assassinated, which sucks because I love this president so much. I love you, John. I'm sorry you're gone now. Alright. Next up is not really a banger of a president, but just it's a president, you know? And his name is Lyndon Johnson. No, I'm not gonna say John Cena. His name is Lyndon Johnson. We should do that. And his name is Lyndon Johnson! 36. 36. Okay. But 37 is Richard Nixon. And Richard Dixon, am I right? But he was the president when Neil Armstrong put his foot on moon soil, and as John Fitzgerald Kennedy once said, he said, quote, that we chose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. Do we choose to go to the moon again? That was Ben. Yeah. Next up, we got Watergate, which ended his career technically and put Gerald Ford, the name inspiration for the Ford car. No, I'm just kidding. I think that was Henry Ford, but an okay president, pretty underrated. Next up, we have got Jimmy Carter. We should make that a car brand, like Carter. Like, how come they have not made a car brand named Carter yet? That'd be amazing, right? He's still alive today. He's the oldest president still alive. You know? Still alive today, Jimmy Carter. But someone who is not still alive today, and it's pretty sad that he's still not alive today. Wait, what's that say? Oh, we only got 6 more to go, baby! We've only got 6 more to go. Alright, come on. Hey, get that black screen going. Thank you, editor. Next up, we've got a ray gun. What? Oh no, Ronald Reagan. So just like Trump, he was a movie actor, and you know what he said? He said, Mr. Gorbachev, please tear down this wall. Okay, next up we got Senior George Herbert Walker Bush. And oh, I'm so happy we're nearing the end. Hip hip hooray! Happy days. Wait, what? There's a war? Bill Clinton? Yup, there's a war going on today. Bill Clinton, and he was a very sexy man. You get it? Sexy, saxophone, George W. Bush, because this guy, the reason why he only has the W, because he was a W president. I mean, the only things, um, uh, um, uh, um, look at that smile. He was such a great man, right? He has got such a great haircut. Quick cut between that. I know he wasn't the sole reason. I just did that for, like, yeah. I don't actually think he did that stuff. Barack Obama, the first African, he was the first frickin' African American president. I'm sorry. If you guys find that racist, shut up. It's not. Next up, we have Mr. Big Mac. Oh, wait, no, wait. Mr. Orange. No, wait, wrong guy. Mr. Big Mac, Mr. Donald Orange, no, Mr. Donald J. Trump. And the J stands for Juicy Big Mac, no. Donald John Trump, John, I think that's his middle name. Yeah, I think so. Donald John Trump. And now for the second ice cream lover, Mr. My name is blank and I love ice cream. After James Madison is Mr. Joe Biden. And I'm telling you, James Biden, his name is Biden, my name is Biden, I'm wearing a thing, and I fall downstairs. That's all I love to do. I trip on nothing, and I fall downstairs. And then I go up, and I'm like, salute, I'm leaving. Without even anyone realizing that I fell downstairs. Even everyone knows that I fell downstairs. But anyways, wow. 33 minutes. Wow. It's probably going to be more than that by the time we get here. By the way, I know the Bear Whisperer did a video like this. I did not try to copy him. If you think that I did try to copy him, I didn't, okay? So, damn, I love this pipe, bro. Until next time, this is your Slapshot Man signing